We are in week 2 now. Quinn, let's predict some games.
You stink! Absolutely terrible, man. It's so stupid, it hurts.
Man, I'm still proud of that intro. All right. So this is the first Amazon Prime Thursday night game. Let's hope to God they are better than how they've been so far. It's got some promise with this matchup, the Bills versus the Dolphins here. And I want to try, at least for my side, to predict a little bit quicker here, because some of these games might turn a little more predictable when we get more into the weeks. But this one's a little bit tougher for me because I did pick Miami to win the division here, but I'm going to go with Buffalo to win this game just because I believe Allen could carry this team to a win, while Miami, I still have concerns on the offensive side. They had some big splash plays, but it took them a while to get going. So I'm going to go with the Bills.
I'm going to go with the Dolphins here. I mean, it's in Miami. It's always kind of controversial what's going to happen. And the Bills had a good game last week, but I don't know if that's going to repeat. And, I mean, the Dolphins still do have Tyreek Hill. Like I said, he'll have some games where it's big plays, some games not so much, as well as they still have Jalen Waddle. And hopefully their running backs this week will actually decide to play and do well. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins here.
All right. Let's go to the 49ers at the Vikings. And Quinn, we have breaking news. Hit the siren. Like we've said many times, this is before the Jets 49ers, but McCaffrey is out for the 49ers game against the Jets. He will not play with a calf injury. We have no idea how this is going to impact this game here next week with the Niners at Vikings. But I think win or loss, McCaffrey or no McCaffrey, the Niners are going to beat the Vikings. I know they lost to them last year, but they're the better team overall, even without McCaffrey. If they lose to the Jets, they're going to be pissed off as hell. Like I said, the things I'm saying might not age well, or they might age well. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Niners.
I would agree. I think the Niners are going to take this one. The Vikings just aren't what they were last year, at least.
Exactly. Sorry to any Vikings fans because I'm friends with a couple of them. But Seahawks at the Patriots here. This one I could definitely trend seeing like an ugly, lower scoring type game. Considering what we saw from the Patriots, I'm a little more back and forth now than I would have been a few days ago. But I'm still going to go with Seattle just because they have more weapons. And I believe they could do better at the running game than Cincy can with the duo they have. So, yeah, even though if maybe Geno struggles against this pretty good and underrated Patriots defense, I'm going to go with Seattle.
I'm going to agree. I think Seattle will win this. I mean, the Patriots did well, but the talent on the Seahawks is just better than the Patriots.
Exactly. Sorry, Patriots. You don't have anybody. Anyway, Giants versus the Commanders here. Pretty easy for me. Commanders, they have much better quarterback play. This can maybe be Daniel's first game where he really shows out. I will say the Giants defense is criminally underrated. They got Brian Burns as a key acquisition. So maybe another, again, low scoring game, but the Giants offense literally doesn't have shit. Unless if Neighbors has a career day, I say the Commanders get their first win.
You see, I feel like this is a tough game. Maybe I know how, the intricacies and how each team plays, but I'm kind of feeling the Giants here. I think they might be able to pull it off. So I'm going to go with the Giants. It's just the feel of, the East and seeing how.
Derp. You're going with the derp. Derps.
Daniel's dying. That's what I'm going with here.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the Chargers at the Panthers. I mean, what the hell? Chargers by a million. Panthers look horrible. You never know. Maybe they'll turn it around with their first home game, but dear God, the Chargers at least have some talent. And even though the Chargers literally their receiving core is so questioned, Herbert might be able to pop off against them. The running game will especially pop off against this team. So yeah, Chargers by 100.
Yeah, definitely Chargers. I mean, I'm hoping the Panthers can do a little better this week, but yeah, it's going to be the Chargers.
Saints at the Dallas Cowboys here. Saints, your good luck has ended. You're playing a real team now. I know, Quinn, you said like maybe they didn't look amazing, especially on offense, the Cowboys. But hey, when you beat a Browns team that people have expectations for, it is impressive. So
that's true.
It's weird because the Cowboys seem to always lose one random ass home game every regular season that you don't expect them to lose at home. It could be this game. I just don't think so. I'm going with Dallas.
Yeah, I get exactly what you mean with the random loss at home. I feel like it could very well be the Saints this year, but it's a tricky thing to predict. And for talent-wise, as much as I hate to have to go with the Cowboys.
You're just dying at your soul predicting that.
Yeah.
The Colts at the Packers. This would have been a lot tougher if Jordan Love was playing. I'll be honest. If Love played, I would have probably picked Green Bay. But because he's out and I'm concerned with their quarterback play overall and the fact that Jacobs struggled, he might be getting the ball a lot more this week now that Love's out for a bit. Yes, the Colts are questioned in terms of Richardson's consistency, but I think Taylor might perform a lot better. We saw Saquon completely carve this defense up, so Jonathan Taylor can do the same. And I'm going to go with the Indy Colts here to beat the Packers.
Well, this is just crazy because I also have to go with the Colts. I mean, the talent they have, I don't trust Malik Willis. I almost said Neighbors. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I don't trust Willis. I mean, if it was Sean Clifford, maybe a little more, but it's still a tough ask. The Colts, like I said, the Colts have a lot of talent with Richardson. You know, their wide receiver core apparently was just all good. Apparently, Michael Pittman's just the worst one. But yeah, I trust Michael Pittman and Jonathan Taylor, and their defense is good as well. DeForest Buckner is going to be there, so yeah, I have to go with the Colts, fortunately.
Okay, let's go to the disaster known as Deshaun Watson, the Browns, at the Jaguars. I mean, this one is another tough one because it's hard for me to believe Cleveland's going to play that bad every week. I think they're going to be in some games, but I'm going to go with Jacksonville here narrowly just because it's at Jacksonville. The weapons did perform a little bit better than I thought they would. And the Jags defense, too, is pretty underrated, and they should be able to shut down Cleveland pretty well. So, tough one, but Jags in a close game.
I'm going to go with the Browns here. I think they have the more talented team. Not that the Jags aren't, and it is at the Jags, but I think the Browns have enough talent they can overcome this and beat the Jags in Jacksonville.
All right, very interesting. Let's go to the Jets, who will hopefully have Aaron Rodgers at the Tennessee Titans. And I am going with my upset of the week here. I was back and forth on it just because of how uninspiring Tennessee looked, but I'm going to go with the upset here and say the Titans win. It's tough because the Jets defense is very good. And the Titans, like I said, struggled. But at Tennessee, they seem to perform better, especially in the offensive side of the ball. I think the Titans still have potential. I like their receiving core a lot in Ridley, in Hopkins, even if Hopkins is older. And Pollard did well. So, yeah. And the Jets, I mean, they're a good team. Obviously, I think they'll be good. They could potentially be a playoff team. And their defense is good. But Tennessee's defense kind of surprised me on how good they are. And a lot of people, including me, were saying, like, don't sleep on the Titans' defense. They fixed a lot of holes. So, yeah, I'm going to say they shut the Jets down, and I'm going to go with the Titans for the upset win.
There's no way the Titans win this. They need to score points to win, and they don't do that. I don't see how the Titans would win here, personally. I mean, with the Jets' weapons, and I guess we'll see tomorrow. Actually, we know right now how the Jets did, and they clearly did amazing. Anyway, yeah, so I think, yeah, the Jets have too much talent. Aaron Rodgers, they're going to beat the Titans.
This is why recording on a Monday before the game is funny, but also tough to do. But interesting picks here. I just like dealing with upsets here. Rematch of the divisional round. Buccaneers versus the Lions here. Man, this could be another game. You remember, Quinn, when Seattle and Detroit for like 2 years in a row had shootouts in the 40s?
Yeah.
I think this could be a game. I think this could be one of those games. I know Lions and Rams wasn't as high scoring, but I think that can damn well happen here. But I am going to go with Detroit to win because I do like their resilience a lot in the Rams game. Looking like they were going to lose and they came back. Tampa did look good, but this is their first really true test at Detroit here. And it's going to be tough for Tampa's defense to keep up with what the Lions have. You know, St. Brown's going to want to avenge his struggling week 1 performance and play well. And if Williams continues to play that good, that is one additional dangerous receiver. I just think the Lions are a little more stacked than Tampa. It is 2 good teams, but Detroit edges them.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Lions will bounce back after a not as exciting week 1 and get their act together and just go and beat the Bucs.
Okay, let's go to the Raiders at the Ravens. Easiest prediction of the week. You know Baltimore's going to be pissed after losing a heartbreaker. They are going to destroy the Raiders. I'm sorry, Antonio Pearson, Max Crosby, and the good players you have. There's no shot the Raiders are going to beat them. I mean, I will say Baltimore, again, like the Cowboys, they have random ass losses, especially at home. They lost to Indy last year.
That's true.
But the Ravens starting 0-2. I just don't think that's happening. Ravens.
Yeah, I think the Raiders could be competitive a little bit, but maybe 14-14 until the Ravens start like popping off. But yeah, I think the Ravens will win. I don't think it'll be a complete blowout, but I think it won't be as close. But yeah, I mean, it's Ravens.
Okay, we got the 4:00 games now. The Rams at the Cardinals. With Puka out now, this is very interesting. And this game's a little bit tough. A little tough to predict.
Yeah.
Both very good offenses. Questionable defense, although the Rams defense until the end played well. I'm just going to go with the Rams just because I trust Stafford a little more than Kyler Murray, and the Rams defense did impress me last night against the Detroit Lions here. And despite the Puka loss, they got Cooper Kupp. They had other guys step up. Kyron Williams is very good. I'm not sure how well Arizona's defense is going to be against the rush. Rams defense too, they might get carved up a little bit, but I'm going to go with the Rams here.
I am going to go with the Cardinals. They just lost. They almost beat the Bills. And again, the Bills played well last week. Like I said, one of the better games. So going off their performance, I think at home in Arizona, and I'll be honest, I forget how the weird triangle of rock, paper, scissors works in the NFC West with the Rams always beat the Niners always beat the Rams, but the Rams always beat the Seahawks, and the Seahawks always lose to the Cardinals or whatever that circle is. But I think the Cardinals could do it. The Rams were a bit sluggish. Not having Nakua is obviously not great, but that means they're going to game plan for Kupp being your number 1 receiver. And I think the Cardinals can win this one.
Very interesting. Let's go to the Bengals versus the Chiefs. Will Burrowhead strike again?
Nope.
I don't think so. I think since he's going to continue this 0-2 trend here, just because, if you're struggling against the Patriots defense is good, but have fun with the Chiefs defense.
Yeah, Chris Jones,
especially now that Joe Mixon's gone. I'm not sure how good this running attack's going to be this year for Cincy. I think it'll be close. I don't think they're getting blown out. As long as Burrow's on the field, it'll be good. It'll probably come down to the wire here, but the Chiefs seem to own the AFC North pretty much now that they finally got the monkey off their back beating Cincy a few years ago. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going with the Chiefs too. I mean, you saw their game. They beat the Ravens, arguably the best team. They're one of the best teams in the AFC. Not the Bengals aren't, but seeing how the Bengals start the past few years, it doesn't inspire me. So, Chiefs.
All right, Quinn. It's Pittsburgh Steelers time against the Broncos. Will Russell Wilson play and come back against his Broncos team? I'm going to assume he will. You never know. I think Russ or no Russ, this is going to be another ugly defensive game here with lots of turnovers. If you thought the Atlanta game had a lot, wait till you see this game. Both offenses are probably going to struggle again. But I'm going to go with my Steelers to start 2-0 here just because Bo Nix against our pass rush, it's going to be rough for him. It's going to be rough for him to connect with his receivers. And their receivers didn't do anything, and we got a lot better in the secondary. Again, our offense might struggle to get points. If Russ plays, they have a little more confidence. We'll be able to actually score 7 points instead of 3 every freaking drive. But yeah, as long as TJ Watt, for the love of God, stays healthy, I think the Steelers win.
This is kind of tough because I feel like the Broncos could pull it off, but I think Bo Nix honestly does need some more experience. The Steelers do well in games where it's close, another mediocre team that they're playing, and I think the Steelers win here.
Yeah, let's go. You agree the Steelers are going to the Super Bowl? Yeah, that's right. Go. It's not happening. Anyway, Sunday night. Shut up. Okay. Bears versus Texans, Sunday night football here. Pretty easy game for me to predict. I'm going to go with the Texans. I think Williams, he has to perform better than how he did week 1. I'll be shocked if he does worse. I think him in the offense will actually show some promise in this game, but it's the Texans. Me and you we're going to talk about it all year how much we like Houston, man. You have him in the Super Bowl, for crying out loud. So
yep.
With Joe Mixon being the standout with all the receivers they have, this team is scary on offense, and they have a very good defensive pass rush and secondary. So I'm going to go with the Texans.
Yeah, I have to go with the Texans as well. The Bears won because of their defense. They're not going to do that again against the Texans. It's not that hard, in my opinion. Sorry, Bears. Kind of.
No, we're not. We're not sorry. All right. Monday Night Football, Quinn, it's your team. Kirk Cousins, for like the 3rd fucking year, has to play a Monday night game in week 2 against the Eagles. They just want to kill Kirk Cousins. They want him to get slaughtered by Eagles fans every year. Pretty easy game for me to predict. I don't know if the Eagles defense is going to perform as well as the Steelers defense, because I think the Steelers defense is a little better, but Cousins is still going to struggle. The defense of the Atlanta is probably going to struggle too, with Saquon going off the way he did and just too many weapons for Philly to have. I think it'll be decently close, similar to like how the Vikings and Eagles usually play, where it's close until the 4th quarter. It'll probably be one of those games, but the Eagles edge him out.
Yeah, I think the Eagles definitely win here. Kirk Cousins in primetime does not work. And seeing him after the Steelers game, I can only imagine what points we're going to get put up against the Falcons when you guys had Justin Fields and kicked like 6 field goals. And Barkley's going to have a field day. The Falcons' weapons should be concerning. And, maybe they'll fix their slump a little, but with their O-line, I think I'm not going to worry too much about that game. And it's at home for the Eagles' first official home game at the Link. I think it'll be A-okay.